beginning to end baboon hunt and then skinning it, eating it. Like, you feel like you're living that lifestyle. So I'm not trying to be like Harrison Ford in like a Mosquito Coast, but like I think Austin is a good buffer for the family. And then eventually I do want to fully go to kind of like, who am I kidding? Like, not fully hunter-gatherer, but like fully like a culture where it's like not that many people. I know who all my neighbors are. I'm living like half like city life and half like there. So things are starting to steer towards going back to Africa for me. I mean, I'm not even close yet. I'm just saying like, I remember.
What was it about that spoke to you so much that you want to be there more often?
Well, like art, I'm an artist, right? And art is about expression and creating. But if you're saying I'm a professional artist, at some point there has to be a conversation about business, monetization, making money. And, you know, we could get into all the AI shit, which is crazy. But, you know, I go to Africa with the ego of like, I'm an important artist, you know, like, and I'm going to like, so my backpack is mostly art supplies, right? And I get there and there's a cave that we're living in for like a few weeks. And like, you know, if the weather's nice, we sleep on top of the cave. And if it's, you know, really raining or something, we sleep under the cave. And in the daytime when like the real men are like hunting, I'm like, I'll give art lessons to the kids, you know? And because the kids have no art training, they're just raw, you know? They're just, and it's just what here's a bow and arrow, and they're just drawing like, and the drawings are like amazing. And I'm drawing them. And in my mind, I'm like, these are going to be like museum pieces, or like I'm going to archive them when I get home and put out a book and like donate all the money back to them. And so we spend the whole day drawing, and I'm like, these are like some of the best pieces of art I've ever, because it was fun. It was like in nature. It's with these guys that are not trained, you know, and I'm looking at it and I'm like holding it like this, not to like, you know, smudge it or anything. And they're like, yeah. And then the tribe comes back. They're covered in blood. They, you know, they got an animal. And I'm like, look at this art we made. And they're like, oh, that's cool. And we're on top of the cave. And they're like, cool. And they throw it off the cave. I go, wait. And I'm like, wait, what are you doing with that? I could have. And I go, oh, yeah, hunter. Like, they don't have anything.
Yeah.
They don't. Like, what do they have? A flat file out there? Like, and I was like, like, it just hit me so hard in that moment. They're so present. It's not about like, oh, I'm living in the moment and then I gotta like go home and edit it and like, you know, do. It's just like, we did it, we love it, and bye-bye. It's a piece of paper in the wind now. And I was like, you know, and there was one that I drew like, you know, and I had it sketched and I was like spending a lot of time. I was like, I'm gonna try it too. And I threw it off the cliff and I was like, more of this. Like, I want this thing where you just live and it is what it is, and less like anxiety, stress. How am I going to make money off this? And it's just, they're so happy. And look, I spend a lot of time with them, and I go back as much as I can. So yeah, to see them, like, you know, all the YouTubers that went out there, and I'm like, oh, there's Shawnee and Nona and Gonkida, and I'm like, fuck, they're like mini celebrities now. I mean, I don't know, like, I feel like every time I go back to Africa, whether it's like Congo or Tanzania, which are like two completely different, you know, I remember when I went to the Congo the first time, I was 19, 18, in 1995.
That was when you filmed that thing for Vice where you were looking for dinosaurs?
No, the first time I went is when I went to look for the dinosaur by myself. And then Vice saw that I wrote an article about that, and they sent me back like 10 years later when I was 25 or something.
Really?
But I remember finding a missionary deep in the jungle. And he's like, bro, you think you're the first one? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you think you're the first, like, lost soul that's come here looking for dinosaurs? And I'm like, I'm not. And he's like, I've been here for 20 years, like, living with these people. Like, every 5 years, a weirdo like you comes through. And do you think you're really looking for the dinosaur? And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for a dinosaur. He's like, no, you're looking for something else. You're either running from something else or you're looking for some kind of meaning in your life that you can't find. So you've pushed yourself to this, you know? And I'm like, fuck, dude, you trying to get deep with me, bro? Like, so